Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin and we're doing things a little different today because clearly I am in my kitchen, and that is because I'm gonna make my chicken cutlets. So apparently these are the best chicken cutlets anyone that's ever tried them has ever had. I don't know why, but I guess I have some sort of secret recipe, something that makes them a little extra special. So I thought it'd be fun to make them and make a video out of it. You need thin sliced chicken breast. I know a lot of people buy regular chicken breast and then butterfly them. If that works for you, you know, keep doing it. But I just find it's so much easier to already buy thin sliced. They're the perfect thickness every single time, and it makes it a little bit quicker. So these are what I buy. And then you need eggs, panko breadcrumbs. I find the panko breadcrumbs give them a lot better texture than Italian breadcrumbs. They're a lot crunchier, and I feel like a lot more flavorful with the panko. Parmesan cheese to mix in with the breadcrumbs. Flour to dip the chicken cutlet in, and I use avocado oil to fry everything. Apparently it's better for you. I don't know if it really is, but that's just what I use. And a whole lot of seasoning. I will show you guys all the seasonings that I use when I put it in the breadcrumb mix. So to make the breadcrumb mix, you need 3 decent sized bowls, and then 1 gets flour. Don't mind this bag. I've been meaning to buy like a container for it, but I have pancake mix in one, and I feel like we're gonna mix it up. I don't have labels, so we're just rolling with this for now. Okay, so that is the flour. Then the next bowl, you're gonna put eggs in. The amount of eggs you use really just depends on how many chicken cutlets you're making. I usually start with 4, and then sometimes I run out, sometimes I have more than enough. It really just depends. So I'm gonna use 4 today just because I'm only making 1 pack. Also, don't mind my little setup over here. I'm gonna try and film a TikTok at the same time, and I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to TikTok, but I'm trying to figure it out. So if you guys can see that over there, just disregard that. But I do like to crack the eggs on the counter, and I don't know how to get you guys any closer, so just give me 1 second. And then I always just mix them up with a fork. Find it's easier than dirtying the whisk, and it works the same, or at least for me it works the same. I even whisk up my scrambled eggs the same way. So that's what they should look like. And then the breadcrumbs. Okay, so this is brand new, but it's not even, it's like halfway full. Don't you love that? But I'm gonna use the whole thing. First, put a lot of salt in it. I feel like when you think it's too much, that's when it's right. And then pepper. My pepper doesn't really get anything out of it, but and then I use black garlic. Can you see that? The light is kind of making a glare, but I use black garlic. It's from Trader Joe's, and I just think it adds really nice flavor to everything. Then we're gonna use a heck of a lot of onion powder. I don't know why, but I love onion powder in everything. Garlic powder. Smoked paprika. And I usually just use a little bit of this. And then Italian seasoning blend. And I like to use a lot of this as well. Lastly, I put the Parmesan cheese in the mix. I think it just adds some really nice flavor to it. If I can get it open. I usually use like that much. Oh, we'll add a little more. And then give it a good stir. Once it's stirred, if I feel like I can't really see the seasonings, I'll add some more. So I'm gonna add a little bit more paprika to this and a little bit more Italian seasoning, just so I can see them in the mix. Okay, and then I need a pan. I usually use this pan. Don't judge me. I know my pans suck, but I put a whole bunch of ones on my wedding registry, so I'm just waiting for the wedding to level up my pan and pot game. But yeah, I mean, this works for now. And then the avocado oil, you have to put a lot. And then I usually still run out. We're getting used to filming in my kitchen, so bear with me. But I put the oil on low so that it starts to heat up. So when I get the chicken all breaded, it's already hot. So this is the chicken. I honestly don't even pound it or salt it. I add so much seasoning to the breadcrumbs and then I salt it afterwards. So I don't even salt it before I coat it, and I don't pound it either because it's already thin. You can't even tell the difference. Okay, so I take the chicken and I put it in the flour first. And then I put it in the egg. And then you really have to make sure that it's fully coated with egg, because if it's not, the breadcrumbs won't stick. And then I put it in the breadcrumbs. I forgot to grab paper towel. Okay, and then what I do is grab paper towel that I put the breaded chicken cutlets on, and I normally do 3 at a time. And then while those 3 are cooking, then I bread the rest. And I put a lot of breadcrumbs on it. I really like them with a nice crunch to them. But obviously, everybody has a preference. We just like them crispy. Okay, so they should be like super coated like this. And then once I have the 3, I will drop them in the oil. You usually want your oil sizzling, but I suck, so it's not, but that's okay because it's going to be in a second. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I'm sure you can see that it is sizzling now, and it's been for a little while. So I'm gonna check the other side and see if they're ready to flip. So they're still pretty white underneath, so I'm gonna leave them for just a few minutes longer. I do have to turn the fan on though, or else my fire alarm is gonna go off on me. Heat-wise, you want to have it around medium, but you also need to keep an eye on it because sometimes it'll get really hot even being on medium, and then you need to put it on low or turn it off if everything looks like it's burning, and then turn it back on once it cools off. So you do have to keep an eye on that. Okay, I'm gonna flip them. I do like them darker than this, but I'm gonna flip them after the other side gets crispy, and then we'll flip them back and cook them until we're happy with the color. So I have it lined with paper towel because when it's done cooking, you want to put it on the paper towel and soak up all that extra oil because you don't want them to be like oily. You just need the oil to make them the chicken cutlets. Once they look like this, I take them out of the oil and I turn the heat all the way to low so it doesn't burn while I take them out. And then I'm gonna put them on the baking sheet. Salt them right away. When they're like still sizzling from the oil is when it's the best time to put salt on them. And then I do it all over again until I have all of the chicken cutlets that I want. So I typically like to make chicken cutlets with pasta. So I have the water boiling. These are my favorite shapes. So I'm going to add like half a box just because it's only me in Orlando. So that's really all we need. And then I'll give it a good stir. I like to make my own homemade sauce. So typically I use a pot bigger than this, but I used my bigger one for a short earlier. I made little apple pie bites. So if you want to check that out, it's probably up by now, but I only have the little pot right now, but that is all right. We will make do with what we have. So for the sauce, I use 3 cloves of garlic, but I don't cut them up too finely. I like the bigger chunks.
Hello, Governor.
Hi. And then I actually use spray avocado oil because I feel like if you use the actual oil, it makes it too oily. And then I just cook that up until it has a little bit of color on it. I add in about half of this, which is heavy cream. And then I add in a good amount of Parmesan cheese as well. Okay, I'm trying to get an angle so you can see everything. So we have the chicken cutlets that are almost done. We have the pasta that is cooking, and then we have the sauce that I just started. So once the cheese is melted, I add a spoonful of tomato paste. And then I stir it up real good. It's all mixed in nicely. A whole can of tomato sauce. So this one is 15 ounces. And to season it, I use salt. I'm gonna get more salt. I'm basically out. Pepper. Onion powder. Black garlic powder. And then a lot of Italian seasoning. And then lastly, you want to add sugar to it. I usually just use like a pinch or two to balance out the acidity of the tomato sauce. And then I just mix it up and I let it cook until the pasta is done. All right, and then once everything is done, I pour the sauce in it. And I mix it all up. And then sometimes I'll add more Parmesan or mozzarella cheese to it, depending on what I'm in the mood for. This is the finished product. So it is so good. Everybody that has ever tried it loves it. The chicken cutlets are just so crispy and flavorful, and the pasta is just the perfect touch to it. So let me know if you guys end up making this and what you think of it. Or if you have a better way to do it, let me know. I am in no means a chef. I'm gonna go make Orlando a bowl of this and then we're gonna eat dinner together. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.